Hello. For today, our CSCI 465 um, about the smart things security. For this time, if you remember, in our lecture, we talked about the how to use the AI machine learning. So in this lab, I'll give you some sample code and then go through a little bit, introduce like how can we integrate with it. Maybe in the research level, if you are interested, and then if you want to like study more, okay, how can you train your own model, how to recognize. But nowadays we have already have so many models we can use directly help us to recognize the objects, detect it. Okay, you can use them directly. And since I know you still working on the assignment like about the habits, I think that was a big maybe to me sometimes it's a small project. Actually you can complete pretty quick, but maybe if you're new to the maybe set up the engineers happy J the express JS and then connect to the MongoDB, maybe it takes a little bit much more time for you. So I try not to give you. Actually, we have a new assignment, so related to the blockchain. Okay, so if you remember, I already did the demonstration. How can we set blockchain, upload it to it, and for actually, there's one more part hidden I didn't talk about is how can you read it? Okay, how can you retrieve the data? Okay, when you save it. So that one I will keep it. I will maybe after the lecture like this week I will make it available, so just like let you know earlier so you can prepare for it. Okay, so after you finish the habits API, and then the next one will be the blockchain okay exercise. And for this one I just like go through to it. So let's see if I receive any email saying okay if because I know like so many assignment, maybe you have to prepare for other work. Okay, can be busy. So if I receive email, so if you cannot, so arrange the time you cannot complete, then I will just like slow down. I'm not giving a new assignment. If you can, then I will let you to do this one. Okay. And when we move on, when we talk about it, so just how can we leverage the Raspberry Pi so as a like edge device. So if you remember, we talked about edge device to run some like machine learning models, and then also the AI applicants. Okay, so we need to so the one of will be using TensorFlow, but later we'll see it. So also some like AI functions that let's say we have the object detection, or we can use the voice recognition like this. So pretty common that we are going to use. So all these models we can import, like train the model, so we can import them directly. So I'll give you the source code. And I wish if we have time, then you can try to implement and test them. Okay, so we can apply the all these like machine learning or AI using the Raspberry Pi integrated in different applications, so including a smart home. So we can control using the voice command. So if using your if you have the mics, okay, so you can receive your voice, right? Then how can you use the Raspberry Pi to receive the voice commands? Okay, let's say turn on something, record something. Okay, maybe something monitor your camera or for some motions. Of course, for some security system, so can we detect face? So if you have camera, okay, so can you recognize that face, right? If you remember, so and how can you send a notification? But for the notification part, actually it will become extra more. Okay, so but for this one, we mainly focus how can we apply use the AI directly, and some for some robot like we build an intelligent robots they can see understand the environment or so far, so they can kind of treat it as a like smart things. And then how can we deploy those models directly and then use the models like for some like real-time applications like for the object detection, speech, especially we are using the one is like for speech recognition, and then how can we optimize the performance? So also the resources usage on the limited hardware, mainly is the Raspberry Pi. Okay. Just like make sure if because for some of it, just like be just make sure of your maybe have it, maybe you have the Raspberry Pi, you already have your micro SD, and just like reminding if you have the camera or microphone. Okay, so hopefully if you do have it, and then make sure you have the Wi-Fi internet connection. Okay, so mainly with these two, if you need to test them, so maybe you need to have For microphone, maybe you don't have already have a microphone. If you know you have a 3.5 mm, the headphone like that, then you can use them. Okay, you can still use they receive the sound. Okay, but if you don't have camera, then you have it. So that's why I'm not demonstrating, but I'm giving you the source code and go through all the steps. Okay, so if you do have them, then you can try to follow it. Okay, and remember we always taking the step is like try to do update and upgrade. Okay, together. So try to update your source list and upgrade all the required application. All this, and we need to run it under using the Python 3. Okay, so if you do have it, then just use it directly. If no, then you can install Python 3 and then Python 3 Py. Okay, install it, just make sure. And we commonly using three different type of libraries. One is the TensorFlow. If you learn about it, maybe you heard about it, so you should know what's the TensorFlow. It's the one of really famous framework like you can for the machine learning model. Okay, so you can use the Python install the TensorFlow and also OpenCV. So this one also we use a lot for machine learning for the image processing and camera access. So you can install using OpenCV Python and then one used for the speech recognition. Okay, so will be the speech recognition you need to install. So total three libraries required. You have to install them. Okay. And after we install them, we try to use it's called the pre-trained model. So no matter TensorFlow Lite or MobileNet for the object detection. Okay, and for this, like we maybe for transfer learning, maybe we have some like fine-tune models for specific tasks on Raspberry Pi. Okay, so if we use the TensorFlow Lite for the object detection, maybe with the Raspberry Pi camera like this. So it will be depends on our hardware. Okay, so we choose it. And just you need to do is just load the pre-trained TensorFlow model and then for the object detection. So you can download it from the hub or convert the model from the TensorFlow to the TensorFlow Lite using the Lite converter. Okay, it's all possible. And right here, I will show you one thing. Here's the code. Okay, so here's the source code I would like to show you. So after we install it, so we try to import TensorFlow and CV2. Okay, if you remember CV2, and NumPy is the one we use a lot. And right here we can use the TensorFlow Lite interpreter. Okay, so in there is a mobile Lite V1 version. Okay, so with a files, so we try to use it. So we try to load the Lite model, and then we just try to get the input and then output the TensorFlow like input details, output details. Just like for we as I like right here. And next, because we need to using the camera, so maybe using the CV2 to video capture. So while to just like for a loop, so we just return it. Okay, so if we didn't receive any return, just break it. Okay, so right here, because we need to do some like pre-processing, like if you have some concept, because like right here I really want to like go really deep about the machine learning or like for training it, but as a first step, we always maybe have some like called the pre-processing the image, okay, for the model. So maybe once you receive it, okay, the NP will change the frame, okay. So as a type for 32, so we will pre-process the input data, right? So maybe we need to set it as a passive. So the interpreter, so if you remember that we're using the TensorFlow, the model like MobileNet, right? We run model and so it's the tensor, and then for the input, okay, passing index, and then the input data will be right here. And after they invoke it, and then we will maybe pass it as the output, so we output it. Okay, so once we complete getting an output, maybe within this range, then maybe we can like process output and then join the bottom line on the frame. So right here like detection and then showing the frame like this. Okay, and unless like you quit it, and that's it. And the logic is pretty straightforward, and then you see the source code is pretty short. Okay, because we use pre-trained model and then just like apply them directly. Actually, because those like pre-trained models like totally actually good enough. Let's say if you need to recognize like maybe human or like some other stuff, like some objects, obstacles like in your house, I believe the model will be good enough unless we are like focus on research. How can we make this um, model like being more accurate, like lower size or like adding more layers, like, but this one will be more related to machine learning. Okay, maybe like for research then, but we are not focused on this part. So we just telling you how can we apply or use the machine learning as a first part, right? And then next, we move on, like when we talk about, okay, about some voice, okay, if you have a microphone, then how can we recognize the speech to capture the voice input from it and then execute some like action. So I think this is a pretty interesting one. So I remember I talked about the project. So I will post it. So you, because you have five, so you're welcome to like work as a group. So if you think you can do this, then also it can be a pretty it's an extension of this lab, and you can keep on work on this part. Okay, so maybe you can use the voice control, okay, to recognize and turn the lights, show the camera feeds like this. So actually that's all the devices, you know, some like HomePod, okay, Alexa, okay, all these like Google Nest, like if you say Google something, then you can have some reply respond, and then you can help you to turn on some lights. So they are doing the similar things, but you can use the smart things. Okay, so they just ensure you need to you have a microphone configured correctly. Okay, and make sure they are working, and then you can explain more like complex tasks. Okay, um you can do it like this. And right here, we are using the voice recognition using the Google Speech API. So we are using an API to add together. Okay, so just like make sure you do this part. And how can we do it? Then I would like to show you the one is using the voice. Okay. So pretty straightforward. So just like after you install speech recognition, and then you can just run it. Okay, sound. Okay, so recognizer, and try to access the microphone. Okay, so as a source. So we are trying to listen to the source, and if we can pass in that if you able to recognize it from the audio, and then we will print out as a test. And if you get it from the test, okay, so let's say if something like you can detect the camera right here, so you can show camera lights on, then you can turn the lights, and then you can if you remember really like kind of roll back to really in the beginning, if you remember the battery price GPIO, how can we control it? So you can assign signal to turn on the light on, off, or some other thing else. If you don't know, maybe you can like report it. So it's a pretty fun. I will, if you're interested, and I will recommend it can be like kind of extension, or you can do this as a project. Okay. Just like be ready, because I know maybe kind of rush, so maybe I'm not giving you a new assignment, but for extension, so you can just like really prepare for your project, so it cover extension. um Later I will post a project, maybe you need to give me a title, slightly background, okay, and then what you would like to do. So maybe every week I will open some like submission, and then maybe I just like for twice. Okay, so give it some time so you can like start to really work on and prepare for your project. So remember to do that. So this one will be the second part, okay? And then last part, if I just like integrate everything you see right here, and everything with the microphone, okay. So I'm going to like upload all this source code so you can able to see it. And kind of like later part, like the last part will be like if we say, can we deploy on the smart security system? How can we like combine all this detection, and then we'll the voice recognition together? Okay, so face using camera, respond the voice. Okay, sending notification, all these. I already gave you the sample source code. They were really basic, but like based on this, how can we enhance the performance, increase the security? Then we can do it like see like this one. So how can we detect using the camera, or like if we capture the command using the voice, then we can take certain action, or like how can we do the real-time monitoring? like based on these like input. Okay, and most importantly, we like to talk about the performance optimization. Because we have the limited CPU. Okay, so maybe compared to our latest, maybe our cell phone. Okay, maybe some Android or the iPhone, iOS. Okay, we do have a limited CPU and memory resources, right? And kind of we cannot really running a really large AI model. So maybe we need to like optimize it using the TensorFlow Lite. So change it to light version to the faster inferences, so small model size. Here is really important because for the feedbacks, like for the interaction, especially smart things, we prefer like faster response, okay, interaction. And then how can we quantizations those, like how can we reduce um without losing the significant accuracy. So it's more important. Okay. And then the pruning. So how can we remove unnecessary model weight to make it like better efficient is one of the idea. So right here, maybe we have some steps we can introduce. So maybe the like the TensorFlow Lite one have a converter and change the output, and then maybe the graph difference form model and then change BP right here. And just like they're more like for discussion, but for the optimization, maybe in this moment we cannot really cover, and because we don't have like that much time to cover it. And then we move on, maybe we have still some like challenge we can discuss, like for the slow in inferences um time. So maybe we have limited process of power on the Raspberry Pi. So better to use the lightweight model for the memory limitation. So maybe we need to optimize it. Okay, there's a, and then for in efficient real-time processing. So we try to maybe some like edge processing or some frame skipping techniques for providing a better performance. So quickly we just like summarize it. So we try to, for this lab, we try to introduce how can we integrate some like machine learning with the Raspberry Pi, and then build some smart security system using the object detection and voice commands. So we are just using the like or they build library directly. So pretty straightforward and easy, but of course I already recommend you like to add some new idea. How can we monitor? Even you observe, like look at all those like smart devices around you. They have all these like function, but for here we just like try to perform. Okay. Or you're thinking, okay, based on this, how can we apply or enhance the security? Okay, all this. And quickly go through all these like we need to do for this lab, because like they are pretty straightforward and just the one and execute. Okay, so I will let you to do it and try. So it's not like necessary something, because you need have to prepare the lab. So if you're watching, so be careful. I will upload all this content, and also remember to really think about your project. Okay, you're going to do, so are you working by yourself or working together? You can contact other group mates. Okay, so you can like working together. So because the time, so I will give you almost a week. So you need to give me your project title, at least like maybe have a short description. Okay, so because I want to make some progress, so I'll give you some grades. So I don't want to like let you say, okay, you finish everything, and then is that you cannot copy all the parts, especially the one you are doing for the Heartbeat API. So I wish this API like you can finish the basic backbone of the whole structure. Okay, then you can build on top of it. So if you want to like integrate with the AI voice commands and save the data, and then also you can integrate with the blockchain. So you are feel free to do that. Okay, so hopefully all this assignment can help you to build the really basic WordPress system. Okay, stuff smart things system with the security. Also, like you can encrypt the communication. Okay, so that's why you need to address and emphasize in your project. Okay, and I will open the submission. Okay, so just like check your detail. Thank you.